Hello dear students, in this video we are going to see about file handling in Python. Until now, whenever you run any Python program, you might have taken the input from the console and then the output also might have displayed in the console or in the terminal, right? But we can also have another options like you can take input from a file, you can store your output on a file so that you can have the output stored for a long time. If you display the output in the terminal, it will be for a short while, right? So and file, so this is all some of the advantage you can understand why we need file handling. So in this video, we are going to see very simple example of how to write in a file and how to read from a file. So if you see here, the syntax to write and read inside the file is very, very simple. Let's see with example one by one. So here is an example of how to write in a file. So here, this is file is a simple object or any name you can give for that. So this object is going to point to this file. So here we have a function called open. This is the syntax open. You have to inside the function, you have to pass two parameters or argument. One is the file name on which we want to write, and we have to say in which mode you want to open the file. W means I'm going to open this file in write mode, which means for writing. And then this file, this you can put F1 or any name you can give to this object. So this is now pointing to this file. Now I can say that object name dot write. Whatever you want to write, you can just write it. After finishing your work, you can just close it. This is how we will be writing inside a file. It's very easy, right? And now if you how to read from a file, same syntax file, you are going to any object name, then you have to use the function open. Here you have to say the file on which you are going to read. Then you have to say there when you want to write, we use W. Here we are going to read, so that we have to use R. That is, we are going to read from the file. And then we are using there for writing, we use write function. Here for reading, we are going to use read function. And when we are reading, we'll get some content. So that needs to be stored in a variable. So that here we are using a variable name called data. And here, so we'll say this object. This is now pointing to this file, right? So this object name dot read. And then the data will be read, and the complete data will be read, and it will be stored in the data. We can print it and close the object. This is a very, very simple example. So altogether, both can be done in a single Python program also. So here is a code to write, and then here is a code to read it. So let's see with a small example. I'm going to do it in a VS Code. So file, let me create an object name called F1, which is going to open a file called, let me say student. So it should be inside the codes. Okay, so I have given the file name, and then I'm going to open it in the write mode. So that's it. So the file is ready. Now F1 is pointing to this file. Now I can say F1 dot write. I can say, you can even write like this. I'm going to write the name as John, and then I can going to write the age as 20. Everything in a single line. I can write the CGPA, and then I can write the skills. So I have written all this enough. Then finally we can close the file. So we have open a file called student.txt. We have opened it in the write mode. And then we have written all these things inside a file, name of student name, age, and CGPA. And at the last, you can see a slash in, which will be taking us to the next line, new line. That is what slash in is. So now we'll do save the program, and I'm going to run this program. So when you run, you will not get anything in the output because we are just writing all these things in a file. So if you see in the terminal, nothing is printed here. But if you go and see here, you can see the text students.txt file. That is what we have created. If this file is not already available, it will be creating. In the write mode, if the file is not already available, it will create it. If the same file is already available, then it will take it and overwrite it if it is open in the W mode, that is write mode. So now I'm going to open this file. You can see name, age, CGPA, all this thing which I have written using this write function, all are stored inside this file, right? I hope you have got it, how to write in a file. It's very easy. Similarly, in the similar way, we can also read from a file. Let me write it. So let me open another file, or you can say F2, and I'm going to open the file now. Same file, I'm going to open it. I'm going to use student with the same file. So S is capital, right? So because it's case sensitive, I have given the file name as small s only. So I'm going to this now F2 is pointing to the file student.txt. I have opened it in the read mode. Now I'm going to directly you can print like this, put it in a print statement like this, or else this line can also be written like this. You can put data and then you are going to read the file. Then you can print this variable, put it in a print statement. This is also fine. Now save it. Now we are going to print the data in the console window because we have used the print statement. Now I'm going to run this program. Now you can see the data will be open here. There is an error. It says no student.txt. So what is the file name here? The student. So S is there, right? So exactly you have to give the same name. So now let us run this program and it is running. So it is going to read the content from the file and it will be printing. So I have to save it. Don't forget to save it before you run the program. So now it is running again. So you can see the students.txt contain all this information. So that need to be printed in the console window. So we'll run it. So you can see the data which is present inside this is name, age, CGPA, and skill. So all those things got read in the variable called data. So this data read in the variable called data, and this data is printed in the console window using print function. So those data are printed here. Hope you got it. You can do one thing, same thing in the same. So writing and reading can be done in the same file. So let it be here. We'll do one thing. I'll open the file and write the file. So here again, I am writing another student data, or you can write whatever you want. F1 dot write some names. Okay, some names we are writing. And after that, we'll close it. So already you can see student.txt is now containing all this data. Now, see carefully. I have opened the same file which is already there. You can see student.txt is already available. So what is there inside this file is this. So now what I'm doing is I'm going to write some other content and then we are going to read it. So I'm going to save it. So if I open it in this read mode, no, sorry, if you open it in the write mode, whatever there in the file will be erased and it will be writing as a fresh new one. That's what the problem of W. So now if we write it and if you read the file, if it is showing the content, you can see it is showing John, whatever now we wrote only is displayed. Already something was there, already no name, age, CGPA, skills we wrote, that was not there. So if you want the older content, along with that, I have to append the new thing means you have to open the file in using A. A means append. What is the meaning of that? Whatever already is in the file, let it be. In the end of the file, start writing the new content. So now let us write the new content. Let us write something else. Now let me say name. And I say like this. And then I'll say F1 dot write age, then CGPA. And then we'll say F1 dot write skills. Then finally we close it. So now you can see in this student file, 3 names are there. Now I have opened this file in append mode. So whatever along with this previous content which is already there, it will be writing from the end of the file. So I have to say S1. Okay, and then we are closing. Then after we are opening the file, reading the content, and then we are closing. Now let us save this file and I'll run it again. Now you can see clearly the older content is also there. See, what is the older content? We have John Doe, Jane Smith, Alice was the previous content. And now along with those content, we have written new content like name, age, CGPA skills. So that is also there. If you go and see in your file also, you can see the previous content is also there. This is what the previous content. And along with that, we have added the new content that is also there. So you can see if I open the file in the write mode as W, then what it will do, if the file is not there, it will create one and write the content. It will erase the previous content and the write new one. But the same thing, if I open it in the append mode, along with the already available content, it will add this new content, that is append this new content. So we can able to retain the previous content, along with that we can add, then we can finally read. So read function helps us to read and write function helps us to write. Similarly, we can also have another function called read lines. So read line, if I give it will read only one single line. So what is the first line here in our file? John Doe, right? So let me run this file. Let me save it. So this time we are not going to, again, we don't want to write, just we'll read it and see. So I'm going to save it and I'm going to this time read only one single line. So it is running. So this time it is going to read only one line. You can see John Doe alone got read because I'm reading only one single line. Got it? So similarly, if I use read lines, so we'll again save it and run it again. And we can see everything is read as line by line. So all the data, okay, is read as a list. Everything is read as a list. You can see it is as a list. So read line means it will read one single line. So I'll show it again. I'll save it. If I put read line, it will read only one single line. So John Doe is the first line. It is reading that alone. But when I say as read lines, it will read all the lines together. So that is the other function we have while reading. If I just simply use read, then what happens? It will read the entire content, not as a list, simply. So now let me save it. And now if I use read line, see now you can see the entire content of the file got read and it is just printing in the console window or in the terminal. Hope you got it. Please do practice so that you will understand it very clearly. God bless you, Ma.